In this video, I'll break down 3 key steps on how I consistently make between 15 and 50% per year. If you don't know who I am, my name is Tepper and I'm the founder and CEO of Tykr. So if you're a complete beginner, don't worry, you are not alone. In fact, I was exactly where you were when I got started. So in this video, I'll give you my backstory. I promise to keep it short, and then I'll break down those 3 key steps. All right, I started investing in 2011. I wanted to figure out how to get money to work for me. So what I did is I started where most people start, is I joined a broker, and then I bought a few index funds and ETFs. And over the next 4 or 5 years, the best I did was about 6 to 8% per year. For context, the S&P 500 over the last 10 years has returned about 10% per year. So I wasn't even keeping up with the market. At the same time, I bought maybe 2 or 3 individual stocks. I took some advice, some bad advice from some people on social media, and I lost some money. Not a whole lot of money, but I did lose money. So over the course of those first 4 or 5 years, I didn't even keep up with the market. So that brought me to 2015, and I took a step back. I'm like, all right, so Warren Buffett and the late Charlie Munger were able to consistently beat the market. In fact, Warren Buffett has stated that if he were managing $10 million, he could make 50% per year. I was like, whoa, that's quite impressive. The question is, how is he doing that? Well, I knew that Warren and Charlie didn't make buying decisions based on emotions or feelings. These are not gambling men. So that told me they're probably starting with some sort of math. At that point, I decided to take a step back and read as many books as I could and go down the YouTube rabbit hole. And believe me when I say this, there's a lot of noise out there, a lot of fluff, but I did stumble across a guy by the name of Phil Town who wrote a few good books that showed some of the math that he, Warren, and Charlie use. And I'll give you those books now. You can look up Rule 1 by Phil Town, and the other one is Payback Time. But anyway, so I took a lot of the math, I put it into Excel, and one thing that I noticed with a lot of platforms out there that give you analytics and information, they weren't really making it easy to make a decision. So I asked myself, I'm like, what is the easiest to understand rating system around the world? And I thought of, you know what? The traffic light. Everybody kind of gets the whole green, yellow, red methodology. I'm like, I should do a version of that. So what I did with Tykr is created a system where stocks are either on sale, watch, or overpriced, green, gray, or red. And then I used that system over the next 4 years. I used my own money. I wanted to see if this actually works. And over the next 4 years, I made consistent returns ranging between 15 and 50%. Now, I won't go into detail here, but a lot of the math you can see in Tykr. If you go to tykr.com, there's an educations tab, and then if you scroll down, there's a calculations page that gives you all the open source calculations. We do tell people our calculations are open source for our personal use. But anyway, back to my backstory here. So I was very happy with those returns, and I started sharing the Excel sheet with a few other people, and everybody said, hey, you should consider turning this into a software to share with others. So at this point is 2019, and I decided, let's move forward with building the software and give people a tool that helps them find great stocks and avoid bad stocks. So it took about a year to build the first version. We went live in 2020, and then fast forward to today, we now have over 12,000 customers in over 50 countries. So here are the 3 key steps I take to make consistent returns ranging between 15 and 50% per year. Step 1, I find on sale stocks in Tykr that have a 4M score of 80 or higher. And it pretty much reduces hours, if not days of research down to seconds. So again, on sale stock, 4M score of 80 or higher. Step 2, I make sure I own between 10 and 15 stocks since I'm in wealth building mode. If you're in wealth protection mode, you want to own over 15 stocks or consider owning ETFs and index funds. But do keep in mind, with wealth protection mode, you're probably going to match the market, not beat the market. And step 3, this is really important, Rule 1 investing. Thank you to Warren Buffett for coming up with this phrase. Rule 1, don't lose money. Rule 2, do not forget Rule 1. What that means is you do not sell stocks for loss. So I decided to follow that rule in 2016, and I actually have not lost money in the stock market since. And here's how it works. When you buy stocks in the first place, you should be buying strong stocks. And let's say they go down below your cost basis or average buy price. In that case, I refuse to sell for a loss. And what I do is I wait for the market to lift them back up. Motley Fool Money, those guys have stated this, which is a rising tide lifts all ships. What that means is the market is going to rally. In a lot of cases, it's going to lift those bad stocks up. It's going to lift them up. And that's when I'll sell for profit, take my money, move it into something else. But sometimes you might have to wait a few months for those events to happen. But it is pretty much training a behavior where I do not sell for a loss. That's a big one. A lot of people let emotions take over and they freak out and then they go and sell for a loss. You don't want to do that. Just remember, over the last 100 years, there have only been about 17 bear markets or recessions with an average duration of 10 months. That tells us that the market, when it goes down, it typically doesn't go down for long. So if you can just wait, let the market lift everything up and then sell for a profit, in most cases, you're going to be in good shape. So there you go. If you're a beginner investor, you can confidently do this on your own and you can do very well in the stock market. And if you're more experienced, well, with Tykr, you'll definitely save a lot of time. Now, if you haven't joined Tykr already, you can join for free. And of course, if you have any questions, please email support@tykr.com. We'll see ya.